Have you ever wondered if the mark on your skin is more than just a birthmark, but a deep spiritual imprint from your past life? Could that small, seemingly insignificant mark be a clue to uncovering your soul's journey across lifetimes? In this video, we'll discuss the fascinating world of birthmarks, unraveling their potential connection to past lives and spiritual growth. Throughout history, birthmarks have fascinated people across cultures, sparking theories about their connection to past lives and spiritual paths. Some believe that these marks are not random, but rather remnants of past life experiences, revealing secrets of our previous incarnations. Across different spiritual traditions, birthmarks are seen as traces left by the soul, holding clues to unresolved karmic issues or profound experiences from a previous existence. In Eastern philosophies such as Hinduism and Buddhism, the concept of reincarnation is central to understanding the soul's journey. According to these beliefs, the soul is reborn into different bodies throughout the course of existence. Birthmarks are thought to be physical manifestations of unresolved experiences or emotional baggage carried over from previous lives. For example, a birthmark on the chest might symbolize a past life where a person endured heartbreak, loss, or emotional vulnerability. Similarly, a mark on the legs could be interpreted as a result of a past life involving physical hardships or journeys. In Western spiritual traditions, especially those influenced by reincarnation, birthmarks are also linked to the idea of karma, the belief that the actions, both good and bad, from past lives influence one's current life. Some proponents of this theory suggest that birthmarks reflect unresolved karma, where a past life's unresolved emotions or actions have created a deep imprint on the soul. For instance, if someone had a violent death in a past life, they might bear a birthmark in the area where the injury occurred, acting as a reminder of that traumatic event. The belief that birthmarks are connected to past lives also extends to the idea that they could indicate spiritual lessons that need to be learned. These lessons may involve working through unresolved emotional trauma or personal growth that transcends multiple lifetimes. By recognizing the connection between the birthmark and past life events, individuals can begin the process of healing, gaining insight into their soul's journey and embracing their spiritual purpose. Spiritual and holistic practitioners often guide individuals in reflecting on the meaning behind their birthmarks, helping them connect with past life memories that may be buried deep within their subconscious. This exploration can lead to a greater understanding of current life challenges and offer the potential for deep emotional and spiritual healing. Whether seen as karmic imprints, emotional residues, or spiritual markers, birthmarks are often viewed as significant reminders of the soul's past and its journey toward enlightenment. Birthmarks are more than just physical features. They are thought to carry symbolic meaning that transcends mere aesthetics. Many spiritual systems view these marks as symbols of deeper truths, reflecting key aspects of the individual's spiritual path, personal challenges, and past experiences. The symbolism of birthmarks is rich and diverse, with varying interpretations depending on cultural beliefs, geographic regions, and even the form of the birthmark itself. In many ancient cultures, birthmarks were considered sacred symbols, often seen as the manifestation of spiritual messages from higher powers or divine beings. In ancient Greece, for example, it was believed that birthmarks were signs of the god's will, indicating a person's destiny or fate. In other cultures, birthmarks were thought to be sacred marks left by ancestors or divine spirits, signifying the soul's connection to its lineage or divine origins. In more modern spiritual circles, birthmarks are still seen as symbolic markers. They can represent the imprint of past emotional experiences or serve as reminders of unfinished business from previous lifetimes. For instance, a birthmark located on the neck might symbolize past life experiences where the individual had difficulty speaking their truth or suffered from repression. This could indicate a need to work on self-expression and communication in the current life. Similarly, birthmarks on the hands are often interpreted as symbols of creativity or craftsmanship, suggesting a past life in which the person was an artist, healer, or artisan. Different shapes and colors of birthmarks are also believed to carry specific meanings. A round birthmark, for example, might symbolize completeness or wholeness, suggesting that the person is spiritually balanced or about to enter a phase of self-fulfillment. A star-shaped birthmark could be linked to celestial influences or even divine intervention, symbolizing the person's connection to the cosmos or their potential for spiritual greatness. Birthmarks in the shape of hearts or other geometric forms are often associated with love, healing, or universal truths, guiding individuals to explore their heart center and embrace love and compassion in their lives. Ultimately, the symbolic meaning behind birthmarks suggests that these marks are not merely cosmetic, but hold valuable spiritual information that can guide individuals on their path towards self-discovery and healing. Understanding the symbolism behind a birthmark can provide insight into one's emotional landscape, karmic lessons, and spiritual destiny. These marks can act as beacons of wisdom, helping individuals to navigate their spiritual journey with greater clarity and purpose. One of the most intriguing aspects of birthmarks is their location on the body. Spiritual practitioners often believe that where a birthmark appears on the body can provide deep insight into the emotional and spiritual issues that may be present in the individual's life. The placement of a birthmark is thought to be no mere coincidence, but rather a reflection of past life experiences, emotional wounds, or spiritual lessons that are carried over into the present incarnation. For example, birthmarks on the chest are often associated with issues related to the heart, love, and emotional vulnerability. These marks could be seen as representations of past life experiences involving emotional trauma, such as heartache, loss, or betrayal. A person with a birthmark in this area may be working through lessons related to self-love, forgiveness, or learning to open their heart to others. The chest, being the center of the body's emotional energy, is a common place for birthmarks to appear when unresolved emotional baggage from past lives needs to be healed. Similarly, birthmarks on the back may have a different spiritual meaning. The back is often associated with carrying burdens, whether emotional or physical. A birthmark in this area could symbolize past life experiences where the individual carried heavy emotional or physical pain. It might reflect a soul that has struggled with feeling unsupported, burdened by responsibilities, or weighed down by unresolved emotional trauma. These marks may be a call for the person to release past burdens and find emotional freedom, particularly in relation to self-reliance, independence, and healing from past emotional wounds. Birthmarks on the hands or fingers may be linked to past lives involving creativity, manual labor, or the use of one's hands for work or healing. These marks could indicate that the individual was an artist, healer, or craftsman in a past life, and may have lessons to learn in the present life related to creativity, expression, or service to others. Similarly, birthmarks on the feet may symbolize a past life involving travel, movement, or spiritual quests. The feet, being the foundation of the body, represent the path one walks in life, and marks on this part of the body may indicate a soul that has traveled far, either physically or spiritually, in previous lifetimes. Understanding the location of a birthmark can provide individuals with a roadmap for their spiritual growth. By recognizing the symbolic significance of these marks, they can begin to work through the emotional and spiritual lessons they carry and embrace healing and transformation. Past life regression therapy is a method used by many to uncover the origins and meaning behind birthmarks. This practice, which often involves hypnosis or deep relaxation techniques, allows individuals to access memories and experiences from previous lifetimes. The goal of past life regression is to help individuals gain insight into unresolved emotional issues, karmic patterns, and spiritual lessons that may be influencing their current life. For those seeking to understand the significance of their birthmarks, past life regression can be an invaluable tool. During a past life regression session, individuals are guided to relax deeply and enter a meditative state, allowing them to access memories of previous lifetimes. In some cases, the person may recall a past life in which they experienced trauma or a significant event that led to the development of a birthmark in the present life. For example, a person with a birthmark on their wrist might recall a past life in which they were injured in a similar area, and the mark serves as a reminder of that experience. The therapist may guide the individual to explore the emotional and spiritual significance of the event, helping them to process any unresolved feelings or karmic ties. Through past life regression, individuals may uncover the emotional residue tied to their birthmarks. For instance, a person who has struggled with feelings of abandonment might discover that their birthmark is linked to a past life where they were left behind by a loved one. Understanding the connection between the birthmark and past life trauma can be the first step toward healing. By recognizing the source of emotional pain, individuals can begin to release it and move forward with greater emotional clarity and spiritual growth. While past life regression can be deeply transformative, it is important to note that the practice is not universally accepted, and some may remain skeptical of its validity. Nonetheless, for many individuals, past life regression offers a unique opportunity to understand their birthmarks and the deeper spiritual and emotional lessons they represent. Whether or not one believes in the concept of past lives, the insights gained from regression therapy can be profound, helping individuals to release old patterns, heal emotional wounds, and ultimately align with their higher purpose. Birthmarks, especially those located in areas with significant emotional or physical trauma in past lives, are thought to carry the energy of those experiences into the current incarnation. It is believed that past life trauma can manifest through birthmarks, acting as a reminder or symbol of unresolved emotional wounds. Some spiritual teachings suggest that these marks form as a result of intense events, such as accidents, injuries, or even emotional turmoil that may have occurred in a previous lifetime. For example, if someone carries a birthmark on their leg, it might be tied to an incident involving injury or loss of mobility in a past life. This birthmark can symbolize a lingering fear or unresolved emotional attachment to that event, carrying the emotional residue into the present. It is not simply a physical mark, but a representation of pain, loss, or trauma that the soul has yet to heal. People with birthmarks on the face, especially near the eyes or forehead, might carry memories or unresolved emotions related to their past life experiences of perception, vision, or self-expression. These marks might signify pain or suffering related to how they were seen or judged by others in a former existence, possibly reflecting deep insecurities or emotional scars carried through lifetimes. In certain belief systems, past life trauma can also manifest in a recurring pattern of birthmarks, where similar marks appear in different lifetimes. For instance, if an individual suffered an emotional or physical trauma in a previous life, such as being burned or wounded, the mark may reappear in the same area of the body as a symbol of unresolved hurt. This may indicate the need for the individual to work through this trauma in the present lifetime. Healing this type of trauma requires conscious awareness and spiritual growth. Many people use meditation, regression therapy, or other healing modalities to uncover past life memories and address emotional wounds associated with these experiences. By acknowledging and healing these traumas, Individuals can release the lingering energy tied to their birthmarks and experience profound spiritual growth, ultimately breaking free from the cycle of recurring pain and trauma. Birthmarks may carry more than just physical significance. They could be deep spiritual imprints from past lives, offering insight into your soul's journey. Whether through understanding unresolved trauma, unlocking karmic lessons, or gaining spiritual clarity, these marks could reveal more than we ever imagined about our true purpose. Embracing the deeper meaning behind them may just be the key to unlocking a deeper understanding of who we are and why we are here.